IBF light middleweight championship of the world is up for grabs. That's in old money. Super welterweight if you want to be technical. David with the introductions.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what an absolute pleasure it is to welcome everybody here tonight to the Utilita Arena in Newcastle, England. We are live on DAZN for the featured bout of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the IBF Junior Middleweight Championship of the World. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing in association with Main Events. We're sponsored tonight by Betfred, Drip, Events 365, Fuel Hub, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guide, Tom Life Insurance, the 10% Club, and Everlast. This bout is sanctioned under the auspices of the British Boxing Board of Control. The steward in charge is Anthony Kirkby and the International Boxing Federation. The president, Daryl J. Peoples. The supervisor is Carlos Ortiz Jr. Introducing your three judges scoring this world title contest from ringside. From the United States of America, John Basili. From England, Steve Gray. And from Poland, Pavel Cardini. And at the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring, A-star referee, Mr. Michael Alexander. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the stage is set and we are here. This is it. The time has come. I said the time has come. From the four corners of the world to the four corners of this ring right here in Newcastle, England, the fight starts now! Introducing first, the challenger. He fights out of the red corner. He wears white with red trim. He scaled 10 stone, 13 pounds, 10 ounces. Professional record, 17 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2016 Olympian, the former British, Commonwealth, and WBO International Champion, proudly fighting out of his home of Sunderland, England, PBK. Josh Pretty Boy Kelly! And his opponent across the ring fighting out of the blue corner. He wears white and red. He scaled 10 stone, 12 pounds, 3 ounces. Professional record, perfect. 23 fights. 23 victories with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Glendale, California, by way of Grozny, Russia, please welcome the reigning, defending, undefeated IBF Junior Middleweight Champion of the World, Bakhram Murtazaliev!
That's David Diamante with the introductions. Here's Michael Alexander, your referee for the contest.
Well, lads, you both know the rules, so let's just have a good, clean fight, okay? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right? Touch gloves.
Second half's underway in the two big Premier League contests tonight. At Anfield, Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1. We'll continue to keep you up to date at Tannadice, Dundee United 0. Top of the table, Hearts 2. Both 8 o'clock kickoffs, both into the second halves. As I say, we'll keep you in touch over the next hour. Here we go then, with the World Light Middleweight Championship. And what an opportunity for Sunderland's Josh Kelly, the 31-year-old 2016 Olympian, against an undefeated Bakhram Murtazaliev, the taller of the two men. Murtazaliev, with his beard, he brings this fearsome knockout record into the ring here in Newcastle tonight. And for one night only, you feel Newcastle and Sunderland are almost united in their support for Kelly and for the North East region as he tries to become Britain's latest world champion after Dalton Smith's heroics of not so long ago. Both men in the centre of the ring. Murtazaliev leaning into a body jab with that left hand, both fighting out of the orthodox stance, leading with their lefts, the more aggressive backhand shots with the right. But already Kelly feeling Murtazaliev's power with the left hand into the body there. Kelly fleet of foot. He's really one for the purist, Josh Kelly. The boxing world absolutely loves his work, his movement and what he can do both inside and out. But against Murtazaliev, it's surely a completely different proposition. Murtazaliev again leans in with one of those big straight rights into the body. The body which bears the Olympic rings tattooed on the left side of Kelly's torso. Kelly gets caught by a stiff left jab. His reach really is something, Murtazaliev. He can score from some extraordinary angles with those big, long limbs of his. And Kelly is going to have to really be at his peak level tonight. It's going to have to be the performance of his life. Tentative first half of the opening round here in Newcastle. And here's Josh Taylor, former undisputed champion of the world. Josh.
Yeah, I think it's a cagey start from both guys. Obviously, Murtazaliev holding the centre of the ring and working well behind that front lead hand. Josh Kelly's obviously trying to move around and navigate round that lead jab of Murtazaliev. So it's kind of a cagey first opening couple of minutes.
It might take a while just to find his range, mightn't it? Because he's got to keep that little bit of extra distance, Kelly, to stay out of the way of that extra reach from Murtazaliev. Both men in predominantly white trunks, but with the red as well. If they were in football, they would have to change. One would have to go to an away strip. Murtazaliev with a big left hand over the top, but Kelly is able to sway out of the way. Tassels from the right-hand side of his trunks as we look up from ringside here. They're in the corner closest to us, but then Kelly wheels out of the way. That movement's so good, so fleet of foot, and Murtazaliev is going to have to be very accurate tonight to pick off the challenger. 20 seconds remaining in the opening round. 12 rounds for a world title tonight here in Newcastle. Great to have World Championship boxing back in the northeast of England. Big right hand from Murtazaliev over the top, catches Kelly. Kelly responds with a combination, swings wildly with the left hand, but the man from Grozny is able to sway out of the way. Big flurry of action late in the opening round, and here's Steve Bunce.
Slightly disturbing that you could catch him with that short right hand over the top there. You know, in theory, it should be Kelly that's faster. And nothing wrong with that round. I agree with you, Josh. Sensible round, taking from both. Kelly's trying to draw the shots out and then counter. And he's got the speed to counter. But it's a risky game.
Yeah, it definitely has. And I just think that my worry with Josh Kelly is when he's exiting after Murtazaliev's punch, he's exiting with his hands down and his chin up high. Which is what we spoke about a couple of days ago.
And he's got such an extraordinary reach and foot movement.
And Murtazaliev is quite good with his feet as well. He can close the gap quite quickly, and he's good at working behind that lead hand.
Yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Adam Booth in the corner is telling him, being out of distance is one thing, but be out of distance with your hands up, that's even smarter. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that round at all. I like one or two of the counters,
it was a great
even
round.
though they missed.
Great round.
I tell you what, it's tense, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's really strange.
Very
tense.
evenly matched. Very evenly matched.
Well, at least the first round has gone. Those early nerves, he can just start to park them, Josh Kelly, because there are undoubtedly going to have been nerves and still will be tonight against a fearsome opponent, but also on the biggest night of his professional career so far. Murtazaliev, maybe inspired by that late flurry in the first round, starts aggressively in the second with the right hand and then a left towards the body of Kelly. Kelly, 17 victories in the course of his professional career, 6'2". It says on the record, and 5'11" and a half Murtazaliev, but when you see them up there in the ring, Murtazaliev looks slightly the taller man, certainly with the longer reach, as we've been saying. Kelly gets caught by a left hand on the inside. Murtazaliev is very accurate with those shots. He will not be missing with much tonight. When he chooses to go for an attack, the man from Grozny, he's going to score almost certainly, unless Kelly can keep those gloves up high throughout the contest. But he's also got to defend the body as well. Goes for a left into the body. Murtazaliev felt that could have been below the belt, but it was okay. Referee Michael Alexander is keeping a close watch on this, the third man in the ring, as we are here from ringside. This has been a steady start to the second round from Josh Kelly, who absolutely is not being overpowered or overawed in the ring out there so far. And again, he's on his bike at the moment, showing his movement, showing that he's willing to take up a different position for a different line of attack. Goes for a left overhand, attack Kelly there, but Murtazaliev brushes it off, but Kelly does pierce the defences with a left jab, and that was really nice. And Murtazaliev was rocked slightly by that one, and again he's rocked Murtazaliev by a straight left. Goes with an uppercut, the champion, in response, but that was a nice little 30 seconds or so for Josh Kelly at range. Josh Taylor, some promising signs from the challenger.
Yeah, it's been a good round here for Kelly. He's moving on the back foot, moving around nice, but he's working behind his lead hand when he's working well on the back foot, working off his lead hand, which is good.
So, centre ring, Murtazaliev here, and the orthodox position, red boots, leans in with that right hand, but Kelly is seeing it coming. I think he's getting a good read on some of these Murtazaliev attacks. Big swinging left hand from Murtazaliev, but that missed by some substantial distance. And Kelly his confidence is growing as every second passes in this, his first shot at winning a world title. Will it be his only shot? That's one of the great unknowns about this sport. You just don't know how many chances you're going to get. 30 seconds remaining in the second round. Second of 12 rounds here in the Newcastle Arena. Josh Kelly from down the way in Sunderland, dreaming of big nights ahead. Maybe even in defence of his world title. Who knows? One fight at a time. Leans in with the left hand. Goes for the bearded face of Murtazaliev. Oh, big left hand from Kelly. That was his best moment of the fight so far. Then goes in with the combination once more. And a left to the body. Brilliant work from Josh Kelly. That really was. And Murtazaliev got caught at the end of that second round. All the analysis in just a moment. But let's go to Anfield. Charlie Slater.
Just about an hour gone here. Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1. Barnes for Newcastle, so close to an equaliser. Left-footed snapshot from 18 yards. Drew a brilliant save out of Alisson. Still 2-1 to Liverpool.
Those two left hooks can change and shape a fight. You win a round with shots like that. Plus, Murtazaliev was hurt by them, but he's been hurt in almost all of his fights. Even fights he's destroyed people, he gets hurt. But they were great shots, and they'll give him some confidence, Josh.
Yeah, they'll give Kelly great confidence, knowing that he can catch him and hurt him. You know, he's kind of on his bike, Kelly, but he's very alert and very ready for to counter and pounce on Murtazaliev when he makes a mistake.
And he's fighting like he knows how hard it is.
Yeah.
It's not a shock to him. He knew it was going to be this hard and this intense.
Hearts still leading 2-0 at Dundee United, by the way. Hearts win, and they're 7 points clear, with Rangers not playing until tomorrow at Hibs. Here we go then with the third round, and really promising second round there for the challenger and huge underdog tonight, Josh Kelly. Make no mistake, if he can do it tonight, it will be one of the great recent British boxing stories. But a long, long way to go. Murtazaliev stalking his man in centre ring, the champion who doesn't want to let his belt or his unbeaten record go tonight. White gloves of Murtazaliev, black gloves of Kelly, who's doing a lot of moving early in this third round, staying out of range, doesn't want to be struck by any of those long, rangy jabs of Murtazaliev. Comes in on the inside, Kelly, but he'll be enthused, as his trainer Adam Booth will be, with that work in the second round, which surely levelled the fight at 1 round all after the first two. 3 judges sitting at ringside scoring this, of course, for a world title fight. Combination coming in from Murtazaliev, but with none of his great power. Kelly is able to soak that up, and a face that looks completely unblemished so far for Josh Kelly. Just a hint of some markings around the right side of the nose of Murtazaliev towards the end of that second round. Fairly quiet, studious first minute and 10 seconds of this third round here in Newcastle, and the crowd all around us here, about 4,000 or 5,000, absolutely gripped by this, because they know what's at stake and they know the scale of the upset if Kelly can do it. Another left hand from Kelly comes around the side and connects with Murtazaliev. It wasn't as powerful as those shots late in the second round, but it certainly connected and certainly caused some damage, and Kelly is doing a really good job here on the biggest night of his life so far. Sunderland will be absolutely gripped by this tonight. They're not playing until Monday night in the Premier League against Burnley. Tonight it's a boxing night on Weir side, but we're on Tyneside to see Kelly here in Newcastle enter the final minute of the third round. He's leaning away, swaying away from some of these Murtazaliev left hands, and he's doing that adeptly. And some of these straight shots from Murtazaliev now are looking just not quite desperate, but they're just not they're lacking some of the precision of earlier in the fight. Kelly gets through with a right hand, pierces those defences, and again it brings the crowd into life here. They know there could be something really brewing here in the ring in Newcastle. Into the final 40 seconds of the third round. It's been a quieter round. Murtazaliev goes with that straight right hand again, but misses once more. Kelly's seeing it coming, and he's able to move out of the way really swiftly, and it's not coming close to connecting. And Kelly's dancing now. He's on the tips of his toes, and he's looking more like the champion at the moment. Murtazaliev has got some serious thinking to do as we enter the final 10 seconds of the third round. Still a long way to go, of course. Kelly's trying to finish this with the right hand over the top. Finish the round, that is, rather than the fight. He'll do very well to get a knockout tonight. Murtazaliev connects with a left body shot towards the end there, but it's a very interesting round once more, Steve. 3 are down in this world title fight.
A really good round. What Murtazaliev's doing is he's trying to draw Kelly. He's trying to make Kelly open up. He's trying to make Kelly commit. And the last thing Kelly wants to do, Josh, is commit. He wants to pick his counters, not over-egg them. And there was a lot of that there, a lot of play there for Murtazaliev. Now, what that showed me is that Murtazaliev's having to really think about the fight already in the third round. This is not a breeze for the kid.
Yeah, and he's trying to push the pace already,
Absolutely.
which is good. But Josh is showing good patience and good discipline here to be moving on the outside and keeping away from his long levers, which is good. And then he's picking his moments very nicely to counter.
Yeah, and I love the way he's like teasing in Murtazaliev. But Josh is not going to fall for that. He knows too much. But you know what? It just builds to that when they get a bit tired a bit later on.
Yeah,
what a fight we've got. Overs, you've been blessed tonight. You've brought luck to us.
Well, it's good stuff, isn't it, Steve? Absolutely. Fourth round here in Newcastle for the IBF Light Middleweight Championship of the World as Josh Kelly tries to win a world title for the first time. Body shots from Murtazaliev are the first couple of scoring shots. Kelly's having to keep those arms down very low, tucked in, to hopefully defend those body attacks and make them not scoring shots. Left hand from Kelly. Murtazaliev just temporarily knocked off balance a little bit, but it connected with the right glove of Murtazaliev, who keeps those gloves very high in defence. He's got good hand speed, and that reach again is really effective when he goes for those straight body shots in particular. But Kelly, as we've been saying, is dancing here. He's getting out of range. He's just connected, is he, by a little elbow there as they get into a clinch, Kelly, but nothing doing, and he's okay, and back in centre ring they go. Almost a minute has passed in the fourth round of this fight. Right hand from Kelly, one of those where they both went for the big shot at the same time, and very hard to know who might have connected first. 3 judges sitting at ringside. May well be that the scorecards are brought into use if we go all the way tonight, or can one man finally... Oh, he's stopped it! Oh, it comes to Kelly! Huge left hand! And Murtazaliev is rocked. He stumbles. He's temporarily his knee on the floor. He's back on his feet, but he's going to have to take a standing count. The knee touched the ground, which means he has to take a count of 8, and that goes down as a knockdown for Josh Kelly. Extraordinary moment. It was a big left hand. It's been a shot which has done a lot of damage so far, and it's a shot which has put Murtazaliev in grave danger of losing his world title tonight here in the northeast of England. Josh Kelly infused as we head towards the final minute of the fourth round. That was a huge left hand, Josh Taylor.
Yeah, beautifully timed as he come in there. Great left hook. Absolutely fantastic shot by Josh Kelly there. And he's doing well here to, he's obviously hurt him. He dropped him and hurt him there, but he's doing well to keep composed here and not jump in and make a mistake.
Murtazaliev did actually very well to just touch with the knee and get straight back up, but it made no difference in the end. He might as well have gone down and stayed down for 8. But anyway, this will be a 10-8 round as long as Kelly can win it with the knockdown. 30 seconds remaining in the fourth round, and who knows what a difference that could make if it does go to the scorecards late on in the night here. But this has been a brilliant start from Josh Kelly. He is known as the pretty boy, and it says PBK on the trunk of his belt. And pretty boy Kelly is in the lead in this fight so far. 10 seconds remaining. Is it going to be a 10-8 round? Murtazaliev is not offering much. Straight left hand. He goes for a body shot. This is going to be a 10-8 round, and Kelly is going to take the lead in the world title fight after 4 rounds as we go to Anfield. A goal for Charlie Slater.
Liverpool have scored. Liverpool 3, Newcastle 1. Mo Salah found Florian Wirtz, who can't stop scoring now. 6 goals in just over a month. Looks like Liverpool might well get their first Premier League win of 2026. Liverpool 3, Newcastle 1.
A perfect left hook there to drop Murtazaliev. He went down, he didn't go flat down, but he touched down, so it's a perfectly legitimate knockdown. And then Kelly, in 90 seconds, used his brain. He went with a 10-8 win rather than trying to finish it. That was brilliant to bank that, Josh. Brilliant.
Yeah, boxing lovely on his back foot and moving and counter boxing, which is great to see.
And Adam Booth there just talking into his ear, and he's saying, listen, stay calm, stay relaxed, and the key here is no risks. No risk, Josh.
No showing off, no pretty boy Kelly stuff.
Absolutely.
Pure business, which is good to see.
I've got Steve Bunce down as a Shalimar fan, so he knows this could be a night to remember. They're bringing out all the disco hits tonight here in Newcastle, and could it be that big night for Josh Kelly, the night that he has dreamt of from the first day he laced on a pair of boxing gloves, and those black gloves have served him well on the night. He has the lead, surely, after 4 rounds of this fight. Murtazaliev might have been 2-1 up. I know Josh Taylor had Kelly 2-1 up, but Kelly certainly winning that 4th round by 2 clear points. And the longer it goes, of course, the more significant the scorecards potentially have. As a left hand comes in from Murtazaliev, who's guarding his right temple there with his left glove up very, very high. He got caught at quite close range for that knockdown. It was a really stiff left hand that Kelly threw, and Murtazaliev was not expecting it. And I think there was a surprise element to it, more than the power, or as much as the power, which meant that Murtazaliev touched the canvas for the knockdown. First minute has already passed in the 5th round. Not too much action. Kelly is on his bike, gets caught by a left hand, and he has to be very wary of that. Can't get complacent at all here, Josh Kelly. We can't see any signs of any early showboating at all, as Murtazaliev attacks strongly. A right hand, then a left to the body. That was a big attack from the man from Grozny, who maybe now is fancying his chance of getting on top in the fight, Josh Taylor.
Yeah, Murtazaliev has started this round really well. He's come out kind of more offensive on the front foot, a little bit more aggressive, and landed a couple of nice blows. He's been very close to the target a couple of times as well. He's kind of closed the gap well on Josh Kelly this round so far.
Yeah, there's a long way to go in this one. It's been a good start from Kelly, but Murtazaliev will still consider himself a strong favourite to win the fight from here. We shall see. The beauty of boxing, you just don't know what's going to happen at any second, and you can't take your eyes or your ears off this fight in Newcastle tonight. We are live for you at ringside with the busy Premier League action, both in England and Scotland developing as well. We'll continue to update you. Left hand from Kelly, then he drops his arms just to take on board some air and some heavy breaths for the Rio Olympian from 2016 and the former member of Team GB, who is on his bike once more, getting out of the range of Murtazaliev. Murtazaliev, who started this round strongly, but the attacking moves have dried up somewhat in the second half of the round. 30 seconds remaining in round 5. Murtazaliev with a left to the body, but Kelly sees it coming, brushes it away, paws it away with those black gloves. Gets caught a little bit on the inside, Kelly, but then importantly sways out of the way of a big overhand right from Murtazaliev. Left hand from Kelly, which would have looked good in the back rows, but it only brushed off the gloves of Murtazaliev, who leans in with a right hand on the attack to the ropes to our right hand side as we enter the final 10 seconds. Big right hand from Kelly. It was a counter shot. He got caught by a right hand from the champion, but he responded so impressively. Another really exciting end to the round of this world title fight. We'll analyse it in just a moment, but how are leaders' hearts getting on at Tannadice? Here's Kenny Crawford.
72 minutes gone, 10-man Dundee United 0, Hearts 2, so Hearts cruising at the moment, in control of this match, and nearly went 3-0 up when Kabori, who scored the first, had a shot cleared off the line by Ryan Strain. Dundee United 0, Hearts 2.
And Liverpool still leading Newcastle 3-1 at Anfield. Steve Bunce, what a good round that was.
It was a good round, but it was a hard round for Kelly. He was having to think, he was having to work constantly. Did he nick it with that final right cross in the final seconds? I don't think he did. But you know what? That was Murtazaliev really putting his foot on the pedal.
Yeah.
Trying body shots, trying head shots, and trying pressure, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was a Murtazaliev round just to the last 20 seconds there. I thought Josh Kelly, because there was not really much happening, and he landed the bigger shot.
And you win fights with big punches.
Yeah, so I've given that round to Josh there.
All right, round 6. We'll be midway through this world title contest in 3 minutes' time. Who's going to win this round? And it's starting to get into the meat of the fight, where every round you can just sneak could make all the difference on the final scorecards. How often do we see it, these close fights that just a 1 point, one way or another? Every movement, every punch could count. Kelly doing a lot of movement, picks off his man with the left hand, then a right hand over the top from Kelly. It's another really blistering moment from him, and it rocks Murtazaliev slightly off balance, and the champion hasn't known much about what has gone on in the first few seconds of this round, because Kelly has dominated. Murtazaliev tries to get in with a left to the body, but this is a champion who absolutely has been troubled at times in his unbeaten career, but has ultimately always come out victorious. Could tonight be different? 2 minutes 4 seconds remaining in the 6th round here. Kelly on the attack with that right hand. He's leaning in with the left jab, but Murtazaliev on the front foot. He's been the aggressor for much of this. Kelly has been countering off the back foot and using that movement to just wait for his opportunities. But boy, has he made the most of those opportunities. Those slight openings when they've come. Our view is slightly blurred because they're over the left-hand side of the ring, and the camera operator standing on the canvas is in front of us. But now they head more to the centre of the ring, and we see this giant figure of Murtazaliev, who attacks with the left hand first, and there's a blemish just under the right eye of Murtazaliev, and that's really swelling up quite badly actually under that right eye, and I'm sure Kelly can see that and is ready to attack that with his left hands. It's been the left hand which has been the standout shot from Josh Kelly so far, and as we head towards the final minute of the 6th round, are we going to see late round drama yet again in this world light middleweight title fight? Left hand from Kelly, and Murtazaliev has to keep those gloves up really high to block these attacks from the inspired challenger from Sunderland, who's acquitted himself so well here tonight. Could it be the night of his life? 50 seconds remaining in the 6th round. We'll be midway through the fight at the end of this one, and Murtazaliev did not expect this. He was ultra confident coming in. Kelly tries to counter with a right to the body as Murtazaliev comes forward, but it's hard to say. The man from Grozny really scored with any attacking or devastating shots in that little flourish. 30 seconds remaining in the 6th round. Kelly's up against the ropes far side of the ring, but he sways adroitly out of the way, and his movement is a real standout feature. It really is. He'll be spinning around this ring in the way that Alcaraz and Djokovic will be on the Melbourne court tomorrow, the Australian Open final on 5 Live from 8:30 in the morning. Here comes Murtazaliev once more, stalking his man centre ring, but there's only 10 seconds remaining in the round. It's hard to know whether he's done enough. Combination from Murtazaliev, who might feel he's just sneaked this round. Kelly hasn't done too much, but it's another really fascinating exchange between the two. We are midway through the fight as we go back to Kenny Crawford at Tannadice,
where it's 9-man Dundee United 0, Hearts 2. A second red card for the Tangerines. This time Panucci Kamara for a headbutt on Mark Leonard, albeit a soft headbutt. Just can't do that. Dundee United 0, Hearts 2.
You know what? Sometimes you can win a fight with a round with 4 or 5 punches and good footwork, and that is what I believe Josh Kelly did in that round. And I sensed a little bit of urgency in Murtazaliev. You know, John Overs, you mentioned that you thought it might be the fight of his life if he wins. No, it's the fight of his life already.
Yeah, it is, definitely. I thought it was quite a tough round to score that, because there wasn't very much really clean landed. So, but going on just on the ring generalship and the movement, it was kind of Josh Kelly, but it was not much landed, so it was kind of who you liked on that one for me.
Going into this final 6 rounds, the winner is going to have to win them properly.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about that. It is pretty much level or near enough midway through this contest. There might be one man who's just 1 point ahead, and that may well be Kelly at the moment, but it's absolutely vital that he is a realist out there, knows that there's still half of this fight to come, and still knows that the toughest part of this fight is absolutely still ahead. Against the unbeaten Bakhram Murtazaliev, 23 victories and 0 defeats. But could this be the night? Murtazaliev leaning into that straight left hand, but gets caught on the inside, and again it's that left hand of Kelly which is doing the damage. That is the standout shot of the night so far from the man from Sunderland. And what a night for Sunderland, and I'm sure they'll be in the bars around Wearside tonight, watching on, those who are not lucky enough to be here in Newcastle, watching the action develop. And Kelly on the inside tries to get through with a left hand. Murtazaliev brushes him away. We've had a minute of the 7th round. World Championship boxing here on 5 Live. Combination from Kelly, the right hand followed up by the left. Now Murtazaliev stalks in towards the corner here, and up close gets a little left to the jaw of Kelly that I don't think Josh was expecting, and that just rocked him a little bit. Murtazaliev leans into the left hand once more, and he's still on the front foot, Murtazaliev, and once he's there, he's dangerous. But Kelly again is catching him on the counter and on the inside. He's picking him off. He's not throwing too many shots, Kelly, but when he does, he's so accurate with them. Big left hand over the top from Murtazaliev, but the defences of Kelly are still very strong. Minute 20 remaining in the 7th round. How are you reading this round, Josh Taylor?
It's a little bit of a better round for Murtazaliev, but Josh has kind of slowed down a little bit. Murtazaliev is maybe starting to close the gap a little bit, but I've got still Josh Kelly still moving around and controlling the distance and the pace quite nicely. But Murtazaliev is starting to close the gap there with a nice scoring jab to the body there as well.
Yeah, that was a good body shot, wasn't it? Only a jab, as you say, but only in inverted commas, because that's still going to hurt.
Pearson one. It was a Pearson
really is. And Kelly is watched by his experienced trainer, Adam Booth, who's seen it all before. And Kelly scores with the left to the body once again, and Murtazaliev, they've been keeping that swelling under his right eye under control, and no sign of any blood seeping from it, but Kelly undoubtedly targeting it with that left hand. 30 seconds remaining in the 7th round. Murtazaliev just a little wayward, little bit of showboating from Kelly, and it's a bit early for that. You want him to keep those gloves up. It's entertaining, but there's a lot of boxing still to be done here. 15 seconds remaining in the 7th round. You can understand why there's confidence for Josh Kelly at the moment, because he's done so well. It is the performance of his life so far, but we've got 6 rounds remaining, including this one, but now only 5 as the bell goes. Another tight round. Kelly might have nicked it again. Pat on the shoulder from Adam Booth, and another goal at Dundee United Hearts. Kenny Crawford.
It's now 9-man Dundee United, now Hearts 3, and it's Pierre Landry Kabori, the Burkina Faso striker, is second of the game, middle of the box, about 12 yards out, smashed it. Goalkeeper got a hand to it, but couldn't keep it out. Dundee United now Hearts 3.
Kelly has got to keep Murtazaliev on his toes. He's got to make Murtazaliev take risks. He's got to make Murtazaliev throw the punches, which in itself is a great big risk. He can still win this fight, Josh. Whether you've got this fight 4-3 one way or 4-3 the other way, it can still win this fight. This is going to be the hard rounds. These are the rounds you said were going to be hard.
Yeah, there's definitely still in the fight. It's definitely not Josh's fight by any stretch. He is winning it, but as I say, it's not his fight by any stretch.
Murtazaliev's corner doing a lot of work on that swelling under the right eye. The face is blemished in a way it rarely has been in his 23-fight unbeaten career so far, but this is his first outing in over a year. No one has wanted to risk their credentials or their potential in the division by fighting him, and it's taken this to get him back into the ring, and the brave challenge of Josh Kelly could be paying dividends. Left to the body from Murtazaliev. Referee Michael Alexander says keep that up, keep that high, nothing below the waist. Left hand on the counter from Kelly, left into the body from Kelly, stretching out that left jab. Again, it's effective when he goes to the body and then up high, because Murtazaliev's having to cover down below and then change the defences. Right hand from Murtazaliev, a bit more urgency around that attack into Kelly's corner, where Adam Booth, the former trainer of George Groves and David Hay, amongst others, watches on. As I say, he's seen it all before. He's thrown the towel in before in a Josh Kelly fight when he lost to David Avanesian earlier in his career. But this is a different Josh Kelly, who comes in with a different mindset and clearly believes he can win the world title tonight. But it's on a knife edge. It's very close, and there are still many rounds to go. We have a minute 45 remaining of the 8th round. Left hand from Murtazaliev, the unbeaten champion, but then he swings wildly and misses by a significant distance. Kelly is able to sway out of the way adroitly, and he's on the back foot, Kelly, but still launching in with that left hand, the sweat dripping from the brows and the bodies of both men. Combination from Kelly, and that was attractive. The left hand first, and then the right hand over the top. Really good work from the Rio Olympian. We see the tattoo of those Olympic rings to the left of his torso very clearly now as he's close to us. A proud Olympian, and now he could be a proud world champion because he's attacking strongly. Right hand to the body, left hand to the head. And how many times have we said that tonight? But then Kelly gets caught by a big right hand and the arena is stunned into silence when Murtazaliev produced that. That was a big 20 seconds or so of attacks from both men, and we're into the final minute of the 8th round, and we have to keep saying it now. In such a tight fight like this, every scoring shot could be crucial. Can you sway the judges over these final rounds? The body language of Kelly clearly suggests he feels he's got a confident lead at the moment, but it's a dangerous game. Left hand on the jab from Kelly. We're going to be dipping into his ring to hear from Adam Booth, the trainer, at the end of this round. 25 seconds remaining. Murtazaliev's face, we get a good look at it now. There are blemishes all around, there really are, but the swelling below the right eye is the most prominent damage, and Josh Kelly is enthused by that. There are no marks really around Kelly's face. He's unscathed so far. The clapper hits the canvas. That means 10 seconds remaining. Murtazaliev wants to finish strongly because in these final 10 seconds you can often sway the judges, but there's a clinch. They have to be separated, and it may well be another round for Kelly. It's so hard to score so many of these rounds, apart from the 10-8 rounds. Very, very tight, as we hear from Adam Booth in the Josh Kelly corner.
Ragged, and you're going to see more booty cleats from Listen.
Yeah, it's too noisy in here. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but I never like it when a fighter whispers into his trainer's ear, because that generally means something like, I've broken my hand or something. I'm going to watch his fist this time. Did you not see Kelly just ducked in?
I don't know, but it looks like they're having a little bit of an argument there, back and forth in the corner. So I don't know what's happened. I never noticed that there, Steve, but it does look like they're having a little bit of an argument.
Seems a bit weird, Josh on his own like that. Maybe Adam told him off for sitting on the ropes. You don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
Well, that was very, very interesting. As round, where are we? Round 9 we're into now. Goodness, we are really heading into the championship rounds. 4 remaining. We are 2/3 of the way through this contest. The last 2 rounds especially have been so hard to call, but there was definite disagreement between Josh Kelly and his trainer Adam Booth in the corner at that last sit down. Although, having said that, Josh Kelly hasn't sat down once over the course of this fight. During every intermission he's been on his feet. Maybe it was the showboating we saw just briefly in that last round. As Murtazaliev is on the front foot once more, he's got to have a strong finish to retain his title here. It would be too simplistic to say he's got to win these last 4 rounds, but you feel maybe he's got to win 3 of them. Murtazaliev on the front foot once more. Kelly again doing a lot of dancing, doing a lot of swaying, and then on the counter with a left hand. Once again, it's good work from Josh Kelly. Can he somehow keep this going for 10 more minutes? If he can, he could be world champion tonight here in his home region of the northeast of England. Here's Bakhram Murtazaliev once again, though, attacking. Goes with a right uppercut, which we haven't seen too much of in the fight so far, but it misses. But that doesn't miss, it's a left hand. It connects with Kelly, and Kelly's down, and that is a knockdown. It's a definite knockdown, and the count is ongoing. He's got to get up, Kelly, which he does at 7, and he's ready to resume. But it was a big blow from Murtazaliev, and then a clinch, and then Kelly went down. But it was a definite knockdown. But again, when he was on his knee, there was a lot of chat between him and trainer Adam Booth, and the chat continues. He's surely got to focus on the job in hand here, because Murtazaliev now has a second wind and has a title defense in mind as we head towards the final minute. Big right hand from Murtazaliev, and the champion is having his best round of the night. No doubt about it. And Kelly has got to be on the defensive now. He's got to get moving and get out of the way of some of these big, vicious blows. This is what Murtazaliev has been waiting for. It's almost like the first 2/3 of the fight hasn't mattered. He's ready to finish it in the final third. Big left hand from the man from Grozny in Chechnya, who leans in and rests his chin on the left shoulder of Kelly. We really haven't seen too many holds or clinches. It's been a very tidy fight tonight. One for the purists, no doubt, and certainly one for the neutrals. It's been very, very entertaining. We've only got 20 seconds remaining, but Murtazaliev fancies it now. This is looking like a 10-8 round, and it could be the moment the fight is levelled up with 3 rounds to go. Murtazaliev on the assault, but a counter left hand from Kelly keeps him in contention, but then Kelly is attacked by a left hand. He's knocked down. He doesn't think it's a knockdown, and it's not ruled as a knockdown. He was sent spinning to the canvas, and Michael Alexander waves it away, and we're in the final seconds of the round. And what drama in that 9th round here in Newcastle. How do you read all of that, Steve Bunce?
He ducked into a left hook. I think he was hurt. He desperately grabbed him around the waist, Murtazaliev. Then he went down. When he got up, there were 92 seconds left. I think you did well to see the bell out there, Josh, and not get hurt again.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just seeing the action replay here. It hit him right on the top of the head. It definitely hurt him a little bit there and wobbled him a bit, so he done well to see the end of the round there, did Josh.
But a shot that high on the temple, he might clear, his head might clear. There's every chance his head could clear.
Yeah.
He needs to really dig deep here and find a bit of confidence, Josh.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I mean, they're looking like they're a little bit of panicking going on in the corner here, but hopefully he keeps calm and keeps his composure.
Because I'm not looking at my scorecard directly, but I think it might be either tight or 1 point either way.
Yeah.
It's got to be a tight fight. I'd be disappointed if someone's got this massively wide.
We have 3 rounds to go. How have you got it, Josh, out of interest?
I've got Kelly just ahead.
Kelly just ahead, says Josh Taylor. Well, very, very interesting. Normally on a knockdown, of course, you get knocked backwards, but Kelly actually was knocked so much off balance with that big shot. He fell into Murtazaliev forward, which was why it was a bit messy initially. And Murtazaliev really fancies it now. We're into the 10th round of his latest light middleweight defence. It's only his 2nd defence, actually, because he has been so inactive. 15 months out of the ring, first time in the UK, but is the big champion going to retain his title now, having scored that knockdown in the last round? Kelly is still doing what he's done throughout the fight, moving sweetly, tips of his toes left and then right, trying to stay out of range. Can he still connect with these counters? He's shaking and jigging those shoulders to show Murtazaliev that he's still got plenty of life left. But as well as that, he needs some scoring blows. He really does, because Murtazaliev is on the prowl. Here comes a straight left hand from Murtazaliev. Kelly brushes it away, tries to get in on the inside. It's dangerous, but it might have to be that way from now on. The fight could get messy from here. They're in up close. The left hand is a straight one from Murtazaliev, and it connects. But Kelly, his head is thankfully clear, is able to dance out of the way and come in with his own right hand over the top. And that was a nice little change up from Josh Kelly there. Right to the body from Murtazaliev. We're heading for the midway point in the 10th round. Every moment crucial now. We've only got 2 rounds remaining after this one, and the fight is very, very close. Will it go to the scorecards? And if so, how will the 3 judges at ringside score it? 5 Live World Championship Boxing, and we're live in the heart of Newcastle here by the River Tyne in the Newcastle Arena. Right hand over the top from Murtazaliev. Kelly soaks it up though, and then retreats and tries to counter with the left hand, but he's having to soak up a lot of these attacks from Murtazaliev now, and it might be the way of it through to the end. Has he done enough so far? He can't think that, surely. Left to the body from Murtazaliev. Right hand over the top from the champion, and then a left as well, and Kelly in a little bit of trouble, but just dances his way away just to prove that he wasn't necessarily hurt by that attack. But undoubtedly he will have been, because those were good scoring shots from the unbeaten champion. 40 seconds remaining in the 10th round. So crucial, every movement now. The big decisions these fighters are making in the ring. Left hand from Murtazaliev. How can Kelly finish this round? The last 30 seconds we're into. It's all about swaying these judges now. It's a diplomatic game you play as you enter the final seconds. You want to finish so strongly that you just get the round to be scored in your favour. And Josh Taylor, a man to my left, knows from experience how these tight scoring bouts can go, sometimes when you're least expecting it. Here's Murtazaliev on the prowl and on the attack in the final seconds. Kelly hasn't thrown much. We'll hear from Josh in just a second. I also want to bring in Rob Law, because Rob, you've been watching Fran Hennessy at the Copper Box. It's been live on BBC Two tonight. What's been happening?
Well, big fight, both cut, both landing. Hennessy wanting to stand her ground and box. She did just that, and she's taken the majority decision in that one in London.
Very, very close on the scorecards here. Steve Bunce, how are you reading it with 2 rounds to go?
right now, I've got no problem with either man being a point up. That's exactly what I want. I thought that was a bad round for Kelly there, but it could have been a breather. It could have been a breather round.
Yeah, possibly, but that was definitely a Murtazaliev round there. Seen a little bit of a change in the tide there from the last couple of rounds. The body language in the corner between the team here and Kelly's corner has been a little bit of a change of body language, and you seem to be arguing in that a little bit.
This is that moment where you use that expression which we can't use on radio because it really is time to go bust.
Yeah.
Most observers here at ringside have this fight, if not level, only 1 point in favour of either man. So it is still up for grabs with 2 rounds remaining. That's all we have left. 6 minutes of World Championship action, and it's amazing that it's got this far because Josh Kelly was a huge underdog going into this, but he's now got a live chance of becoming Britain's latest world champion if he can see it out over these last 2 rounds. We're into the penultimate round now. Right hand from Kelly, gets caught on the inside, but there's a slip. Down he goes to the canvas. Just thought he got clipped on the inside there, but no, it's not scored as a knockdown, just a slip, and on we go. Left hand from Murtazaliev, big counter on the left from Kelly. It's all action here. We're off to Anfield in just a second. We'll see if Murtazaliev can do anything in the corner just in front of us here. The counter from Kelly is attractive, and he will have scored, but Murtazaliev undoubtedly is looking to finish this fight the stronger and to maintain his unbeaten record. Kelly is winding away with his right arm, but the job's not done yet, and the crowd are encouraging him to focus on the job. Certainly Adam Booth is doing that, yelling from his corner. Right hand from Murtazaliev, now a clinch and a goal at Anfield. Charlie.
Where it's Liverpool 4, Newcastle 1. Liverpool will win for the first time in the Premier League in 2026. Canate with the finish, mess from Pope at the back. This will finish 4-1 Liverpool.
Minute 30 remaining in the penultimate round of this world title fight, and there are questions to be asked, absolutely, about what's been going on in the Kelly corner in the second half of this fight. Booth watching on, so experienced, the trainer. There has been showboating from Kelly, and if he loses the fight on points, he'll have to face questions about why he was doing that from such a relatively early period in the fight. Again, he's waving away with the right hand like he's rotating it, like he's a little bit of a showy fighter, but we know he's got everything. We know he's got the skills. Can he knuckle down and stay really focused in the final 4 minutes? He sucks up a couple of huge body shots from Murtazaliev. The champion has withstood a big challenge tonight, but is Murtazaliev just starting to come through? 40 seconds remaining in the penultimate round. Kelly gets caught by a left hand once more. And the man from Grozny, is he in charge now? Couple of left hands to the body from Murtazaliev. These are huge shots, and Kelly's doing very well to withstand them. 20 seconds remaining in the penultimate round. Kelly just needs to get back to the corner now. This is looking like Murtazaliev's round. It might be the round that takes the champion ahead going into the last. Who knows? Kelly ducks out of the way, shakes his hand, tries to go with a big left over the top, but it doesn't connect, and Murtazaliev is going to win the round surely and take us the full distance. We are heading all the way in Newcastle, and this world title fight is still absolutely live. Steve Bunt.
You know what? It's still in the balance. I've got Murtazaliev in front, but it's still in the balance. It's that close. One judge could have it massively one way, another judge could have it massively another way. Kelly is tired, he's conserving his energy, and he's worried about walking onto the shot. Murtazaliev for about the 4th round, Josh, has looked a bit desperate, to be honest with you. In front, but desperate. He has. He's looked a bit desperate.
Yeah, he has looked a bit desperate, but I've given him these last couple of rounds, you know, so it's got to be Kenny Kelly needs to win this round to seal the victory, I think.
You know what? I was watching the corner there. I'm not quite sure they're joined or unified on how they're scoring it. They're asking each other.
They seem to be having a lot of discussions in the corner here. There's certainly something going on.
So maybe they think he's in front and he should coast the last 2 or 3 rounds.
Maybe, I don't know.
Dangerous tactic, Josh. Dangerous tactic.
Well, we've been saying that from midway through, Steve, haven't we? We really have. And if he ends up losing this, big left hand from Kelly. Final round is underway. He needs to win this round, surely. Even if he's 2 rounds in. Oh, he gets caught by a huge right hand from Murtazaliev. That was one of the bigger shots of the night, and only the ropes kept Kelly up there. He was lucky he was right over on that far side of the ring because they kept him on his feet, and Murtazaliev has come out like a bull in this final round. He wants to finish it. It's a slog on the tine, and a left hand from Murtazaliev connects with the right side of Kelly's head. Kelly on the inside goes with the left hand, and that connects. It's been a brilliant fight. It's been a brilliant challenge from Josh Kelly, but is it just one step too far? Murtazaliev is swinging wildly here. It really does look like he feels he has to win this final round, and he might be absolutely right. Right hand over the top, but he's going for the finish. Make no mistake about that. Here's the master of the knockout, Murtazaliev. 17 of his 23 victims have not seen the end, and he wants to add Kelly to that list of victims. Kelly is dancing around, he's getting caught again, but it is almost like Kelly feels he's had this fight won from 2/3 through, and we feel it's much closer than that. Murtazaliev on the front foot again as we enter the final half of the final round. Murtazaliev stumbles into Kelly, and Kelly dips down onto the canvas, and his legs are rather wobbly, Kelly, it has to be said. He's going to do well to survive this late attack, but if he does survive it, does he have a chance of scoring a sensational upset? You bet he does. Left hand from Murtazaliev connects with the jaw of Kelly, who's trying to sway out of the way, but he's got to keep more distance between himself and the champion. Murtazaliev coming into the corner in front of us, looking for the finish, but it's Kelly. Kelly on the attack. Oh, that's a big exchange from the man from Sunderland. Huge combination. Almost as Murtazaliev's back was turned, but it was fully legal. Michael Alexander let it play out, and that was maybe just what Josh Kelly needed. 45 seconds remaining in the round, remaining in the fight. Right hand from Murtazaliev. It's been a brilliant contest. Newcastle absolutely gripped by this one. Kelly, can he deliver one more attack in this final 30 seconds, really to see the job out? Murtazaliev is looking for the knockout blow. As yet he has not been able to find it. Thrilling action in Newcastle. 20 seconds remaining. Kelly on her back foot. The crowd urging him forward. This is going to be so tight. 10 seconds remaining. Murtazaliev can't find the knockout. He's going for a big right hand. As the clapper sounds, Kelly holds on for dear life. Both men are going to celebrate, I'm sure, as the final bell goes. Extraordinary fight, great battle, and has Josh Kelly just become the latest British world champion? It is too early to say that for sure, but Steve Bunce, that was a great battle between two great competitors.
You know what? There was ferocity and an intensity from the first couple of rounds when they were not reluctant to exchange, but they were cautious, they were careful. Once they opened up, both knocked down, both dropped. I think there's a divide in the Kelly corner. I think Adam Booth thinks it's tight. I think the rest of the people in there think it's his. Kelly thinks it's his. Some of the DAZN people are coming over. They think Kelly's done enough. Yeah. He could have done enough, but I don't think anybody can celebrate confidently at this stage, Josh. That's my feeling.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. If Kelly has won it, which I think he maybe have just nicked it in my scorecard, but yeah, it's certainly close. It's certainly tight.
Yeah, what we don't need here is a wide decision. We don't need someone scoring it by 6 or 7 rounds. Could Kelly have won it? Absolutely, he could have won it. Were we being a bit too kind to the champion in those early rounds when Kelly was landing the flashiest single shots? Perhaps we were. It's tight.
I think maybe in that last round, that little flurry from Josh in the corner there, maybe I've nicked that last round.
You win around with flurries like that, Josh. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know what, Overs? We might yet have a new world champion. I've got no problem either way it goes, as long as it's not stupid scores.
Great battle, and as always when you see a fight like that, you just sit and you stand and applaud, and you have so much admiration for the guys who put themselves on the line in the ring with nowhere to hide, and Josh Kelly has done just that tonight. It's been the fight of his life, whichever way the decision goes. He's leaning over the ropes. He's talking to former world champ Tony Bellew at the moment to get Tony's opinion. But there's definite disagreement about which way people, observers around the ring, Steve, feel that this has gone, in contrast to the way Josh Kelly sees it.
Well, Tony Bellew told me he had it 2 rounds, 2 points to Josh Kelly, 2 points to Josh Kelly. Other members of the DAZN and Matchroom staff, they all seem to think Kelly's won it. Well, hey, I think he could have won it, but I'm not confident either way here tonight, not at all.
Kelly, my interpretation of Kelly's body language is that he feels he's won it by a long way, but surely he hasn't. The belt is being held by the supervisor, and what a prize, what a prize. The IBF Light Middleweight Championship of the world. And to remind you, Bakhram Murtazaliev came here tonight protecting an unbeaten career and 17 knockouts in his 23 fights, 0 defeats. Has the brave challenger from Sunderland done enough to rip that belt from his waist and to win the world title for the first time? Here's the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action here in Newcastle, we go to the judges' scorecards. Pavel Cardini, 113 even. John Basili, 115-111. Steve Gray, 114-113, both for your winner by majority decision. And the new IBF Junior Middleweight Champion of the World, Josh Pretty Boy Kelly!
Britain has a new world boxing champion. He's from Sunderland, and he is Josh Kelly. What a fabulous fight, what a performance, and what a result. Big Murtazaliev storms out of the ring, and he walks right past us now. He is straight out, and he's straight down the tunnel. He feels he'd done enough in those final few rounds to win it, but it was so tight, and the scorecards really reflected how we felt it had gone over the course of the night, in the sense that it was so close and could have gone either way. But the belt is held high, it is held proudly, and in a Premier League season when Sunderland are really punching above their weight, so Josh Kelly is dreaming of a big night at the Stadium of Light, and who knows, it might now happen, because he'll be defending the world title as the champion from now on. Brilliant, brilliant Josh Kelly.
You know, about 35 years ago, a man called Billy Hardy lost the world title fight in Sunderland. He was from Sunderland. He lost it on a split decision to Orlando Canizales. I thought he won that clearly. Josh Kelly tonight, absolutely, I had no problem with him getting it. But look at the scores. Look how tight those scores were. That was a masterful performance. Sure, there were times when he was put under pressure. He was dropped heavily. Sure, there were times when perhaps there was a crisis in the corner. But they all came through it, Josh. That showed unbelievable heart and finally desire.
Yeah, and what impressed me with Josh there, he stuck to his game plan. There was not much showboating in his Pretty Boy Kelly style. He kind of stuck to his game plan and stuck to business, which was good, which I like to watch there.
And you know what? The fact that there's 3 judges, the British judge, Steve Gray, had it by just 1 point, and the other 2 judges had it relatively close. 1 judge had it even. That's what happens. That bit of crowd can help you. Whether it's home or it's just across the river, it makes no difference. Yeah. Fighting near your home is an advantage.
And of course, well, is it a beauty or is it an irony of the way those scorecards came out? Is that if that final scorecard had gone to a draw, it would have been a majority draw, right?
And he would have kept his title,
absolutely. He would have kept the title, even though Kelly would have won on scorecard, won on and drawn on the 2 others.
Yes, absolutely. Would have kept,
so we were 1 point away from a different decision.
From 1 point away, that's how cool this business is, from a life-changing decision. And that's what upsets me sometimes when people talk about boxing being crooked. Oh, it's a disgraceful decision. That was a wafer-thin decision. 1 judge had it even, 1 judge had it by 1 point. That's what should happen in a fight that's that close, overs.
And a great atmosphere as well. The crowd here absolutely loved it. And the return of World Championship boxing to the Northeast. long overdue, and come back soon, because what an atmosphere was created throughout that one. We will hear from Josh Kelly in a few moments' time. Just to confirm that Liverpool won 4-1 at Anfield against Newcastle, and Hearts won 3-0 at Dundee United, and that means that Hearts' lead at the top of the Scottish Premier League is 7 points going into tomorrow, when Rangers play at Hibs, and Celtic also in action tomorrow. Well, Josh Taylor, you know what it's like to win a world title. Ultimately, you became undisputed world champion. But if we take you back the night you won a world title for the very first time, what's Josh Kelly feeling at this very moment?
Pure euphoria. You know, it's mission accomplished. Childhood dream, lifelong dream accomplished. It's pure euphoria, this moment of time he's feeling right now. There's no better feeling in the world.
And he deserves it. It was tight. It could have gone either way. But the way he started the fight, Josh, was so confident, wasn't it? All that confidence he talked about, being a changed man, benefiting from the defeat earlier in his career. You could see it in his body language in the early rounds. Yeah,
he was about business tonight, which was what I liked. I mean, I touched on this before the fight and the punditry stuff and the lead up to this about the pretty boy Kelly style, the show off, the flamboyancy, and all about sort of trying to please the crowd and stuff like that. You never saw much of that at all tonight. It was purely business, and you saw a little bit of the flashiness, but not much. Which was what impressed me tonight. He was purely about business, which was good.
Want to head up into the ring. Might be a few seconds before we hear from Josh Kelly, but always good to get the atmosphere from right in there. Steve Bunce, you're muscling through at the moment.
Yeah, and I can tell you now, looking over at Adam Booth and the rest of the cornermen, maybe 7, 8 of them, there's a look of relief. Sure, it's triumph. Sure, they're exhorted. Sure, they're happy. But there's a feeling of absolute relief. These boys are going to sleep for an awful long time. They know how hard it was. They know how tight it was. And they also know what it took in those last 2 rounds for Josh Kelly. You can see it. Josh Kelly, he's on cloud 9. He's not sleeping till at least Thursday of next week. Trust me, Overs, trust me.
Well, it'll be absolutely fascinating to get to the bottom of whatever that disagreement was between Kelly and his trainer, Adam Booth, because Adam Booth is a man who has been at ringside for many a world title fight, for many different fighters. He's seen all of it before. Very little in boxing has Adam Booth not seen. So it would be a surprise if he did have this disagreement with Kelly over the way the fight was going on the scorecards, but we might be about to find out, because Kelly is heading Steve Bunce's way. As usual, Steve, you've got to wave that microphone very high.
Yeah, I've not got him just yet. There seems to be an awful lot of debriefing going on, and I've got no problem with that. It was that type of fight. I expect that for a little bit. I'm going to just see if I can get him. I might have to just shout a little bit, so excuse me. Okay, yeah, I've just been told 1 minute. It's the way it works. I've got 1 minute.
Right.
I don't invade the ring because it upsets some people. Robert Smith's looking at me and I didn't get it cleared. If I'd have invaded the ring, then he would have pulled me and slapped my wrist later on. But he didn't, because I didn't. He'll be coming over soon. I've nearly got Josh now. I've got Josh now. Josh is coming over to me now. Just quickly, Josh. Josh, there we go. I'm just going to move along. Sorry. Josh, can I get a couple of minutes? Just 2 minutes. I will have him here. He is here. Josh, could I just get 1 minute with you? Because I know you want to go. Congratulations. How'd you feel?
Feel like a dream. I don't know. Yeah. I visioned this 20 years. I had this is the first time totally when this fight. I had a deja vu. I was praying a couple of days ago, maybe a week or so ago. I was visioning a fight, and I had deja vu with that knockdown in that 10th and 11th round, and it was like going to go 1 or 2 ways. This depends which side. Just depended which way I chose to get through the fight, and it was weird. And I thought God was just in there with his guidance along there.
And you needed that special lift going into that 11th round. I mean, it was just sensational stuff all the way through, Josh. Just incredible and inspired performance. Did you get that sense of it? Could you, there's an odd expression, could you enjoy it in there tonight, Josh?
Yeah, but I had to concentrate. I had to fucking concentrate, because if I didn't, you see what happens. Yeah, man, I feel overwhelmed. You know. I think I'm going to have to take a second backstage and just gather myself because I feel...
You're absolutely exhausted, son, aren't you?
You're
absolutely exhausted.
I feel fresh. I'm more mentally exhausted than anything.
Listen, Josh, thanks so much for your time, and we'll speak to you again. I know you want to get yourself away. Frank, can I grab... I'm just going to try and get Frank's... Frank, can I grab you for a second? Frank, can I grab you for a second? Yeah, I just got Frank Smith. Frank, how are you? He's so emotionally involved, he actually can't talk. Not you, Josh.
First time Josh Kelly hasn't been able to talk.
He genuinely can't.
No, he's been a brilliant talker ever since I met. But there is no one, like I said there, I met him prior to the Olympics, you know, a young kid who had all the skill, ability, everything ahead of him. But he was always with his head, could he go in there and do it? And he's never done it the easy way. You saw him, you know, when he fought Avanesian, he tested himself, he went ahead of his time, and he did the same thing tonight against one of the hardest punchers in the division that no one wanted to fight. So happy for him, he deserves it so much.
And it was wafer thin, it was tight. One judge had it even, one judge had it 1 round. That was the British Judge Steve Gray. There was no argument. I mean, it was a tight fight, but no great argument.
I thought it was a round.
Yeah, absolutely. Either way.
Yeah, I think, yeah, look, I felt that you couldn't have argued, right? But, you know, to also take the punches in, the 9th, 10th round?
Yeah.
And to keep coming. And the things that no one said he'd be able to do, where he said, come and do that to me. He did it tonight. He showed everyone, you know, proved everyone.
Because there was a look on Murtazaliev's face in about round 8 or 9 where he thought, when he was like a little smug look as he went back to the corner, that's it. I've taken the best shots. He's dropped me. This is when I take over. He's just a pretty boy. Everybody's told me on the sly he'll fold after 8 or 9 rounds. But he didn't, Frank.
No, because he's got that heart. This is his moment. This is what he's dreamed his whole career of doing. And he's done it. He's delivered. I'm so happy for him. I'm so proud.
Now, I'd love to ask you all sorts of questions about who's he going to fight next, and I can't do that because I'm going to try and grab Adam Booth if I can. I'm just going to try. Adam! So just congratulations, Adam. A lot of work from first days to that title tonight, and you look a little bit stunned yourself, a little bit worn out.
Yeah, I'm emotionally exhausted. Like I'm so close with him, and you know, it was that type of fight where if you get too greedy with your hands, you could end up in a really bad spot.
And is that what you told him in the corner? There's a little bit. It seemed like an exchange of words. Let's be diplomatic.
Yes, because he was saying something that was only going to encourage him in more, and he made a mistake where he kind of stood there with his hands up for no reason in 1 round, and got caught with that shot. Yeah, you know, but at the end of the day, he's won the world title.
Yeah, well done, Adam. We've got to go off the ring. Thanks very much indeed. I really appreciate that. Overs, back to you. We're being evicted.
All right, thank you very much indeed. Steve Bunt, you heard from Adam Booth there, the trainer of Josh Kelly. You heard from Frank Smith, the CEO of Promoters Matchroom Boxing. And you heard from Britain's new and latest world boxing champion, Sunderland's Josh Kelly, who has upset the odds here over the water in Newcastle as the underdog, as the challenger, but he leaves as the champion. And final reflections, Josh Taylor, it has been an emotional night. It's been one of those nights that we will remember in boxing for a very long time, and we wish Kelly the very best of luck for his title defences moving forward, because his life has just changed.
Yeah, it's just changed. Life dream accomplished. So he can now you know, just keep training like you're the challenger, man. This is when the hard work begins. You know, you dream for this moment, but now you have got the target on your back, so you have to work harder, doubly harder, to keep that crown that you've just worked so hard to get.
You'll allow him a little celebration first, though, won't you?
Yes, absolutely.
And then the work begins. Josh, great to have you with us this evening.
Yeah,
absolute
thanks for having
pleasure.
me.
Josh Taylor, former undisputed champion of the world. So Sunderland's Premier League season continues. They played Burnley on Monday night, and I'm sure Reggie Lebris and the players were watching tonight as the local lad from round the corner on Wearside, Sunderland's Josh Taylor, upsets the odds and becomes light middleweight champion of the world. He's leaving the ring just in front of us now. He is smiling, but he is still dazed. He was down on the canvas at one point in that fight. There was another point when the ropes kept him up and perhaps saved him. But sometimes in sport you need that luck, you need that good fortune, but you also need the heart of a lion and the skill to come through a fight like that. Incredible effort. Josh Kelly is the world champion. We'll leave you on 5 Live Sport for now, and we'll leave you in the capable hands of Stephen Nolan on 5 Live.